This afternoon, I will draw you to the McCraes Battalion, which is an Edinburgh battalion that has, as the Royal Scots, part of the footprint within which West Lothian finds itself as a local infantry regiment. And this story is dedicated not just to those McCraes Battalion personnel, but to all who served. The growth of the PALS battalions was fuelled in part by a spirit of local rivalry, deliberately forced by the War Office. Towns and cities competed with each other in an effort to fulfil their patriotic duty. As the military crisis deepened in France, the pressures to volunteer became unbearable. The League of the White Feather encouraged its members to publicly shame any young man who was seen out of doors in civilian attire. The principal target for this vitriol was the Edinburgh team, the Hearts of Midlothian, then leader of the Scottish Football League and considered by contemporary observers to be the finest football combination in Great Britain and obviously in Scotland. At the time, it was known and renowned as the home of the scientific game, characterised by quick passing and swift, intelligent movement. Clearly such players would make excellent soldiers. A letter to the press renaming the club White Feathers of Midlothian proceeds a stream of angry and insulting missives, many including detailed directions to the nearest recruiting office. The anti-football campaign reached the House of Commons in the afternoon of the 26th of November 1914, and Sir John Lonsdale, the Unionist MP for Middlemarch, asked the Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Herbert Asquith, if he would introduce legislation taking powers to suppress all professional football during the continuance of the war. His timing could not have been worse. The previous afternoon, 11 of the Hearts of Midlothian players had enlisted in a new battalion, which was being raised in Edinburgh by a politician and businessman, Lieutenant Colonel Sir George McCrae. Since then, a further 2 players have joined them, and news of the Edinburgh sensation had already reached London papers. Asquith was able to refer to it in his response, diffusing the situation with no little ease. The stoppers were repulsed. Hearts noted that the Scotsmen had saved the game of the British football game. A young private soldier by the name of George Blaney later wrote in December 1914, "The Hearts have led the way, the Hearts have saved the day. These brave young hearts, the Dinah Hearts, will follow, come what may." And that sentiment reaches far beyond the city limits of Edinburgh. Among the public figures responsible for raising the battalions of K4, which was the 4th tranche of the new army, was Sir George McCrae. He was unusual. Far from insisting it was the duty of young men to go, he was inviting them to come with him. At the Usher Hall, on a chill and foggy Friday evening, he made a rousing speech that would be long remembered by everyone present. "I would not, I could not," he stated, "ask you to serve unless I share the danger at your side." He at the time was 54. Within a week, Sir George McCrae had his men, 1,350 of them. The Hearts players were joined by fellow professionals from Raith Rovers, Falkirk, Dunfermline, Hibernian, St Bernard's and East Fife. Falkirk could boast one of the finest sides in the country, having won the Scottish Cup in 1913 and finished runners-up to Celtic in the league twice in the previous 6 seasons. However, in total, around 75 clubs delivered volunteers, most from Edinburgh, the Lothians, including West Lothian, Linlithgow and Fife. Hundreds of supporters volunteered at the Palace Hotel recruiting station in Castle Street to serve beside their idols, including a substantial contingent from Hearts' great city rivals at Hibs. Rugby players, golfers, strongmen and athletes of all persuasions completed the rank. Support was immediately dubbed McCraes Battalion. It was a title that would guard with pride until the last survivor died. And if you would indulge, I'll take you to the morning of the 1st of July. In the hours before zero, almost 250,000 shells were fired at the German position in a last desperate hurricane bombardment. Between 7:20 and 7:28, 10 mines were exploded under the opposing front line. The scars can still be seen today at Hamel, La Boisselle and Freeport. 2 minutes later, the assaulting battalions climbed out of their assembly trenches and moved at a steady pace towards the enemy. As the barrage lifted, German Maxim teams scrambled from deep dugouts and set up their guns. The wire had not been destroyed, and as the attackers bunched together at the gaps, they were cut down in their hundreds. Within the first hour of the offensive, it was estimated that British losses approached 30,000 officers and men. By the end of the day, that figure had doubled. Almost 20,000 were dead. It was the blackest reverse in British military history. The capture of Maumee and Montauban in the southern sector was scant consolation, and Tait, the magnificent 36th Ulster Division, advanced almost a mile and were wiped out in the process. At Beaumont-Hamel, the 1st Newfoundland lost 684 men, 90% of their attacking strength. At Fricourt, the 10th West Yorkshires lost 710 men, and all but ceased to exist. It was the same story all along the line. The Pals battalions had taken 12 months to train. They were destroyed in a matter of minutes. Their hometowns were shattered. London sustained 5,000 casualties, Manchester 3,500, Belfast 1,800. Leeds, Bradford, Birmingham, Glasgow, Newcastle and Edinburgh each lost over 100,000 killed or wounded. Over 1,000 killed or wounded. The smallest communities were worst hit. Accrington, Barnsley, Grimsby, Cambridge and all the Tynecastle pit villages spawned the Irish and Scottish brigades of the 34th Division. Newfoundland would never recover. 1st of July marked the end of it all, Second Lieutenant James Stevenson of the 16th Royal Scots. I was never the same after that day. I never had such friends, and for a while I thought I would never smile again. McCraes was one of the first of the footballers battalions, firing the formation of 17th Middlesex in England the following year. The Hearts lads, as I've said, were joined by players from Raith Rovers, Falkirk, Dunfermline, Hibs, St Michaels and Fife, along with representatives of around 75 clubs. Supporters of those clubs swelled the ranks further, and during the entire course of the war, the 16th Royal Scots football team remained undefeated against all challengers, even after leading players had been killed or wounded. That is a striking measure of the battalion's football pedigree, but by 1915, the Scottish press was also describing McCraes as Scotland's supporting battalion. Following the book publication in 2003, the memorial proposals were resurrected in November 2004. A handsome sandstone cairn was unveiled in the village of Commemoration on the Somme, just south of Tait. These materials were used and the craftsmen to engineer that for entirely social Scotland. It was the most ambitious initiative of its kind since the high point of such projects in the 1920s. 2 years later, as the 90th anniversary of the first day of the Somme, the McCraes Battalion Trust was formed as a registered charity to maintain that memory of prosperity. In the summer of 2012, we completed phase 2 of the Commemoration project and installation of a map of the area as it was in 1960. Cast in bronze and mounted on a 4-foot square block of clasher stone, the same material that was chosen for the cairn. The Hearts of Midlothian Football Club had a large part to play in the McCraes Battalion, but they were not alone. Young men from across the whole of the Lothians joined the ranks of the 16th Royal Scots and the many other battalions of the Royal Scots and others set arms to go and fight on the 1st of July and right the way through the Battle of the Somme until the 18th of November. In Commemoration each year, we commemorate the battalion, Sir George McCraes Battalion and his boys, but we also applaud all those from Scottish descent and their compadres, the Celtic connection, who gave their lives on that day and the months that followed, which was the Battle of the Somme.